Hello, and it's finally time for possibly the last mission for a whole bunch of characters in this party. Bannerspears for sure. So let us get into it. Now, in my last video I did miss 2 EXP, one for Drifter and one for Blinkblade. Probably not gonna make that much difference. I don't think we'll hit level 9, but you never know. Okay, so there's also a side scenario I picked up in the last mission, which I didn't read, Furious Factory, so let us read that now. So this is 119.3. And let's grab the foreteller narration and the section book. So in between the last recording, let's get this out of the way. In between the last recording, I actually upgraded to the newer version of the mod, which is really cool, and I'll show off some of the features when we come to play the mission. One of the really amazing thing is you don't have to worry about losing your section books. Actually, you can see they just respawn automatically. So after we read it, we don't have to return it, we can just delete this. Right, 119.3.
Curiously fragile bit of machinery in your hand, and it suddenly comes to life, projecting some sort of illusory three-dimensional map in the empty space above it. You try to touch this projection with your other hand, but it just passes right through the light, blanking out anything above it. Very strange indeed. The map itself appears to be of some sort of ancient building that constructs machines. You wonder whether it is still operational, and whether it may be beneficial to visit. After a considerable amount of tinkering, you discover a way to make the map zoom out, and there it is, a blinking dot on a very recognizable landscape. Shouldn't be too hard to find.
It's kind of amazing that it's a random scenario and we just discover the most thematically appropriate scenario of 109. So this is another machine robot scenario. It's actually right here off to the side of the maze complex we've been exploring. So yeah, we'll probably deal with it at some point. The other amazing thing about the new mod is you can hide anything you've unlocked accidentally on the scenario map. So you can see I've used to have red boxes here hiding one of these guys. You cannot hide it back now, so that's a really cool improvement. Alright, as I said, we can just delete this with abandon. We can move this over here. And we can now finally advance into our last scenario for the starting party. There are two choices. One is a good path, one is a bad path. We'll actually just do the good path. I don't think it's that much harder, to be honest. So yeah. Let's do Automaton Uprising. Scenario 59. After I retire my characters, I'll probably do a little mini guide on my thoughts around playing this character on insane difficulty level. So I'll try to spend some time and figure that one out and hopefully put a couple more videos out that's not just gameplay. Okay. Alright, let's start with introducing the scenario, as usual. So Automaton Uprising is a 2-pip complexity. The scenario is complete when the control console on tile 15D, which is, I believe, currently not on here. Yeah, it's going to be this tile. So when there's a control console on that tile, and you need to have 5 damage tokens on it. 5 damage tokens. At the end of that round, read 62.1. Alright, let's hand it over to Foreteller for the scenario introduction.
Peace, the orphan says, its voice incredulous. Peace? It turns and looks back at what you've done, at the ruined machines left in your wake, and the injuries you yourself have suffered to come here. You can understand the sentiment. You're a little surprised yourself. Here you were at the brink of war, the destruction of all the unfettered within your grasp. and you laid down your sword. So you explain how you arrived at the decision. You tell of your time here in the north. You tell of the freezing expeditions, fierce battles, and brutal attacks, of the memories that follow you now. Then you describe Frosthaven, this hopeful town perched on the edge of the world, and how hard you and everyone there have fought and worked and died to keep that hope alive. As you speak, something dawns on the orphan. You see it in the machine's mannerisms, how it nods slowly and lowers its arms. It understands. These obstacles that you've overcome, the anguish that you've endured, the orphan has felt those same things. You aren't sure when, but at some point, you find yourself speaking not with an enemy, but with a fellow pilgrim fighting in an unforgiving world. When you finish, the orphan takes a moment to consider. When it speaks again, it does so with warmth.
Life is not so gentle a thing, is it?
The orphan says. It shakes its head, a small concession to the immense burden it has endured over all these years. It turns back to you, the blue light behind its eyes softening.
Perhaps,
it says,
we have misjudged each other. Perhaps the world is not the same as it once was. You struggle here, just like us. And perhaps the answer is not to destroy, but to work together.
The orphan turns and gestures for you to follow.
Come,
it says.
We must tell the others.
Together you move through a side passage and enter a series of triangular chambers filled with great towers of black steel and flashing lights.
If we are to have peace,
the orphan calls back,
I must issue a new proclamation to the unfettered.
The automaton moves to the base of a tower and opens up a small compartment, revealing a complex web of cords and buttons.
But be forewarned, I can entreat, but I cannot command. Each unfettered has a mind of its own, and each chooses for itself whether to accept my decision.
The orphan manipulates the control tower, its fingers clicking over the row of buttons, and after a moment, the tower itself shifts. The lights that weave in and out of its steel facade flicker, changing from red to green like distant stars, except a few of them do not.
As I suspected,
the orphan says, with some darkness in its voice. Almost on cue, you hear the sound of machines marching, and a moment later, a line of heavy, unfettered barge into the triangular chamber, hulking steel automatons, their fists already clenched.
My personal guard,
the orphan says.
They will never accept peace, I'm afraid. They will try to destroy both of us now. Quickly, we must move to the other towers and send the message to the rest of the unfettered. If enough of them take up our call, we might stand a chance.
Surrounded, you face a row of solid steel. The orphan's private guard are huge, well-built machines, their joints hissing as they bring their massive limbs to bear. But still, you must hold them back. The orphan needs time to send out the new orders, because without them, none of you will get out alive.
Alright, let's look at special rules. Door 1 is locked. Door 1 is these two. So these are locked. The orphan, which is over here, is an ally to you and the enemy to all other monsters, which is kind of interesting because the narrative-wise, the orphan has summoned his private bodyguard, and they're also trying to kill him too, which is kind of interesting. Do not set up a stat card or the boss monster ability card. Instead, it has L7 plus 4, 11 times 2, 22 hit points, which Tabletop Simulator has done correctly. Our initiative 1 each round. So this guy will be tanking effectively. Performs move 3 controlled by us. Any character can lose a card from their hand or 2 from their discard pile to negate 1 source of damage to the orphan. If the orphan dies, the scenario is lost. So like I said, the Orphan will actually be attracting most of the fire here from its own bodyguard. Whenever the Orphan ends its turn adjacent to any control console, place a damage token on that console. So that's the mechanism by which we place 5 damage tokens on the control console in this room, which is currently locked. At the end of each listed round, spawn the following monsters at the listed locations based on the character count. So starting from round 3, let's mark it. Starting with round 3, we will have some spawns. Let's make it easier for ourselves. So we'll be spawning flaming blade spinners, then robotic bow shooters, then elite rowing machines. So basically all of these guys could be spawning. So let's put you here. Let's put you here. And let's put you here. I think just for simplicity's sake, let's put you over as well. Alright. We'll just lock you. Lock. Can't I make this bit neater? Yeah, there we go. Let's put you here so it's easier for us to spawn. So there'll be a lot of spawning starting from round 3. So we have 2 rounds of free actions effectively. And then it gets a bit crazy. When both revealed control consoles have 3 damage tokens on them, so they are here and here. So you can see control console. Read the next section. So basically, the goal is to get Orphan to put 3 console damage tokens here, 3 damage tokens there. Then we can hopefully open the door and put 5 controlled damage token on the next control console in this room. So it's a bit of a escort, protect, survive mission against endless horde of these guys. Don't think there's much more to say. This guy, it is immune to basically all conditions. It can be muddled, but I don't think that's gonna ever happen. But importantly, it can't be stunned, it can't be brittled, it can't be poison wounded, or immobilized. So basically, nothing will stop this guy from moving. It can be cursed, but I don't think, again, that's gonna make too much difference since it doesn't do any attacks. In terms of loot, 11 coins, some metals, a bit of herbs, which I would love to get, but looting is actually surprisingly hard because the goal really is not to kill too much, but to protect this guy. And there's a random treasure too. In terms of monsters, we've seen all of these guys. The fact that there's a steel automaton card in here kind of tells you there's one in the next room. As you've seen, this guy is a big baddie, but it can be easily manipulated as to not to do too much damage. These guys are scary, especially there's 2 of them on 2 opposite sides of this long corridor in the first room. They will hit everybody, which makes them a bit of a problem, and they have to be taken down ASAP. Although they do respawn on round 4 and 10. Hopefully by then we are sufficiently far away from this situation that we're not going to be too bothered by these guys. These ruin machines always have the capacity to explode, and these guys have the capacity of doing multi-target damages. But in the first room, simply said, our goal is to get this guy over to this side as quickly as possible, take these 2 down, and then shuffle this guy over to here as quickly as possible. And we will be definitely using the Rush to the End card that we picked up with Blinkblade to help with that movement. Alright, let's have a look at our cards. I don't think Battle Goal makes too many difference, like I said, for our banner anymore. I think we'll go for the 2-tick one. I won't be tracking it too much. I mean, if we do kill anything, we will certainly make a note of it, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to do this, especially given this is the last mission. Equipment. There is a reason of taking Protective Scepter, because the situation can get kind of crazy here. Spear of Justice is also really good, getting an extra attack in, so it's always quite hard for me to think which one to pick here. I think I will just go with Spear of Justice here. Simply because I feel like long resting is not often going to be happening too much in this scenario. And doing damage is better than just putting a shield up. I think, anyway. Because if we can eliminate stuff in this room quickly, then we won't need to push shield up. And the goal is going to be like, we get this guy out through the door as quickly as possible, and Deathwalker will actually use one of the Wild Growth Seed thing to block this door, and then we can just all hide in this room until this guy does the job. That's going to be the strategy, broadly speaking. So yeah, I'm actually going to take the more impactful damage dealing item here. Right, let's look at cards. Immobilize always good. I think you guys have seen how good that is. Healing allies obviously very important. I don't really think Rallying Cry is going to be helpful here. I'm actually going to take Combined Effort just to give myself another way of moving our little guy around. I'll still take Lead from Afar. Lumberman helps with damage, so long as it doesn't get killed quickly. It also acts as a bit of a distraction once we've started to escape into the next room. Healing is just always good. I think we do still want to take Tip of the Spear. Although we probably don't want this version of it. Maybe we want Set for the Charge version, so that we can grab the initiative and tank if we need to. Let's have a think. This does give me additional way of doing AoE damage with Pierce. But I just think that's probably not that useful here. I actually think Set for the Charge is what we want. The ability to go fast and change the outcome of situation is going to be more useful, I think. And this gives us basically around 4 slow initiative and 4 fast initiative with 2 middle initiative. So I think that's probably what we want here. Alright, let's look at you. I mean, we can get more perks, but one mission is probably not going to do it. And I'm guessing Drifter is going to be retiring once we go back to the outpost. Let's try Masochist. We probably will be tanking quite a bit here. So I can see a world where we end the scenario with 3 hit points or less. Oh, for some reason I have not set my... Oh yeah, because I've updated into the new... I'll do that in between. Because I was going to say, because I updated in the new mod, my camera thing's all gone. So I'm going to have to reset that. But I can do that in between scenario. In between recordings. Alright, let's have a look at here. Tanking's absolutely vital, so Shockwave is good. Concealed Stamina is good. That'll give us a way of doing ranged healing. Ending Fight is a good source of damage. The Move Force is just great. Continuous Health is good. I actually think we drop Draining Arrow here in favor of Fortitude. Give us a way of doing a ranged attack if we needed to finish something off. I think that would be better. Is there a world where we take Prudent Preparation over something? Maybe like Bloodletting? Like attack 5 is good. Definitely don't want any of these things. Yeah, I think that's good. I think this is okay, even though a bit of healing bottom action is great, but I think we probably will prefer to be moving more. And we've got healing with consumed stamina already, so I think this is okay. Equipment wise, we do actually want the Poison Dagger to help kill the robotic bow shooter quickly. I think there's a world where we could take Protect Scepter. We do have some fast initiative cards over like our own Heater Shield. Dropping a Protective Scepter on the ally could be helpful at times, but I think we're okay. As long as the Orphan doesn't get critted, we actually prefer to use him as a source of tanking from time to time. Alright. Over here. What do we have? Do I want jump boots? Probably not. Don't think we'll be needing to jump over a lot of things here. Again, Poison Dagger is good because it helps to kill the robotic bow shooter quickly. There is an argument for taking Aspiring Helmet, but I think we've got enough, between Bannerspear and Blinkblade, we've got enough allied movement cards here to help the Orphan get to where he needs to go. I actually think this is okay. The Spear will be useful to fight against the the blade spinner that spawns later, but again, job is not to kill. We definitely won't be doing slowpoke here, that's for sure. Weakling or accountant? Maybe weakling? There's a world where Blinkblade gets exhausted in this scenario. Okay, Blinkblade's card is actually quite important for us to get right. I don't think we'll be taking drive recharge here. Not super useful. Let's think. Stab the Maul is good, Reckless Org is good, Double Time is good, Twin Strike is good, helps us. This is going to be a critical card, so we need to end one of the rounds when the offense puts 3 damage tokens on the top console within range 2 of it. So next turn when we start, we can move it 6 spaces immediately. So that would be something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then if Bannerspear moves 2 more, then the next turn the orphan can immediately access the console, so thereby skipping a lot of turns here. So that's definitely the game plan here. Kinetic Transfer will give us mobility and a way of fighting against the blade spinners. Sanding Hourglass is just good sense. AoE healing is great. So what do I want to be my last card? Is there a world where I'll be power leaking? I don't think so. I'd probably actually take Blurry Jab here or Cascading Reaction. Like a simple move 5 on fast could get us into a lot of positions. I could also do this. Borrow Time, give us ability to move, because we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 allies with the summon 5 allies here. So this could be a move 10, which gets me access to a lot of different places at a very, very fast initiative. Do I have enough damage? I feel like I do. So if I really just want a movement card, probably Borrow Time is great. Or I can use the other side of it on slow to boost my own allies' movement. I like that quite a lot. Alternatively, we can go Experimental Adjustment and take Invisibility here. Not 100% sure if that's really necessary, to be honest. Top half of Borrow Time can also help us literally borrow time, so I might probably take Borrow Time here for my final card. That gives me exactly... Yeah, I think that gives me enough movement then to do what I want to do. Okay, I think this feels good. Could always take more damage with temporal displacement, but I think probably prefer movement here. And yeah, I think Rough Boots is great for what we're trying to do here. Scrambler, Optimist, or Bastion. Don't think we'll be doing any of these, to be honest. Maybe we can try Optimist. Not that it really matters, because again we've fully kitted out from the Battle Ghost now on Deathwalker. Items, I think this is totally fine. Let's look at cards. So this is definitely a, well, I think anyway, this is definitely a Eclipse mission, which is going to open up with Eclipse right away. Probably means we don't need Call of Doom here. What do we need? Strength of Abyss. Is this a Strength of Abyss mission? Although we're not setting Cult of the Abyss, so it's probably not. Force of Spirit, give us a way to teleport. That feels good. Black Barrage, just a regular attack with ability to move shadows, seems good too. Or maybe Wave of Anguish. I would love to set Cult of the Abyss in this mission. I just feel like it's going to be quite tricky. Do I want Anger of the Dead? Probably not. Probably Black Barrage is good enough. Here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I've got all the cards I need. Like I said, I really wish I was level 7 for this mission. I think that'd be great, but unfortunately we're not. Okay, so I think that's cards. Let's look at starting positions then. So, Blinkblade clearly has head start. The goal is to actually delete this guy as quickly as possible between Blinkblade and Bannerspear. This will put Bannerspear within range 3, which will be useful. Drifter, we'll probably go slow here, everybody. We'll probably go fast enough for Blinkblade to head up. This guy will head this way. Drifter will probably also just head up and set crushing weight. If the guys are doing a range 4 attack here, Deathwalker will not be in the way, which is helpful. Although I don't think the line of sight here makes too much difference. Definitely can see that way, and I think you can see from here. Just double check. Yeah. So I don't think line of sight, there's no blocking line of sight either way, so I think both of these hexes are totally fine. So standing here allows me to put a shadow here. Probably do want the shadow closer to this side, I'm guessing. So yeah, probably we start like this, and then Bannerspear will go slow on the first round. So that Drifter can move out of the way, we can put the Archer here. Slightly out of the way, hopefully slow enough to survive. Okay, so that's the game plan, and that's the setup. This is the finale of this quest line and of this party, so I'm very excited to play this mission. So I'll end it here, and I'll see you guys next time.